Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to this week's navigation task. We've got the magnificent mountains of northwest Scotland for this week's task. So I want to know, as usual, where was the photograph taken? And can you identify the two features that I've circled on the photograph? The map that we're using today is the Ordnance Survey 1 to 50,000 map. So let's have a look a little bit more closely at the photo. What can we see? Well, we've got very obvious twin peaks away in the distance that we're looking at. Dropping down towards us, the ground flattens off and we've got a large body of water. In the foreground, we've got some high ground immediately ahead of us that drops down to the water from right to left, and then the water extends away to the left as we look there. So we're wanting to find that on the map. So can we identify anything there? Well, we've got these two obvious high features here, Sail Gorm and Sail Garv, and we're looking over the water towards those with land on our right. So we've got to be over the water here or here somewhere, and it really makes sense. The only bit that we can see is either this little bit here or this little bit here, where we'd be looking with ground on our right and water on our left. If we were here, we'd see this little island ahead of us, and that isn't visible on the photo. There's no island there, and it looks like we're looking straight across to this flat area here below the right hand of these summits. So if we're looking across from northeast to southwest, this is the right hand of the summits. We trace a line back, there's that flatter area. So it makes sense that we're over on this bit. So we could identify that the photo was taken from roughly around here. What about the features that we are looking at or looking for though? Can we see those? Well, what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit on this and we can have a closer look. So this feature on the right to start with, if we look closely, we can see that it's a little sort of pinnacle, steep ground dropping away to its right and out of sight. We don't know how steeply or how far down that goes because it's obscured by this ridge coming down here. But we can see to its left as we look, it looks like the ground's rising again and disappearing into cloud. Again, we don't know how high up it's going, but we definitely, as we look on its left-hand flank, it drops and then there's that definite rise there. So we need to look for that. So I've zoomed in on the map here, and that peak we're looking for, those little pinnacles between these two main summits. So some people suggested that we're looking at this 745 height here, which is that's a conclusion we might look to straight away if we at first glance. But if we do look at this, we can see if we were looking over from northeast to southwest, the high point, the ground drops away to the north, which we expected it to do. But if we look to the left, as if we were looking at that peak, the ground drops away and then flattens, and it doesn't start to rise again till here. Whereas in the photograph, we could see it dropping and then starting to rise straight away. So it doesn't seem like that is the feature. So what else? Well, if we can see here, we've got this little rise here, drops down to the north or to the northwest, and then drops down to the southeast, but then rises up again into the clouds towards this 745. So the feature we're looking at there was actually this little rocky feature there. So that is that. What about the other feature that's circled? Well, what we're looking for here is this, looks like some kind of drainage line coming down. We've got this ridge here, this obvious ridge, and it looks like there's some, we might call a corrie, a flatter area beyond it in this hidden behind this ridge. And as we're looking, this feature is to the left of that little pinnacle that we've already identified, and it looks like it's coming down and then draining possibly down in here and down towards this flatter area and into this body of water there. So can we see that on the map? So we're zoomed in slightly here, and we can see we've got this stream draining down from between the two main summits. And looking here, we've got the contours are well spaced, so this is that corrie here, and then at this point the ground steepens and we've got the stream coming down there. So that was a point that we're looking for, where the stream runs out of the corrie and it's coming down, draining in here, and then draining and draining. We can't see this road on the photograph, it's actually draining in here, but we were looking across that wider area there. So that there was the other feature that we were looking at. So let me just put them all on the map for you. So there we go. The photo was taken from just the side of the road. Here's a little parking place looking across the water up to these twin summits. That was our little pinnacle, and that was the stream draining off. So I hope you got it right. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Look out for next week's navigation task. Bye for now.